Do you have taphophobia? You know, taphophobia? No, it's not the irrational fear of taffy or having your bar's cocktail program revamped by John Tapper himself. Taphophobia is the fear of being buried alive. And it seems pretty common these days. It's happened to Ryan Reynolds, it's happened to David Blaine, and for some reason it keeps happening to James Donaldson. Over in Mount Vernon, they say George Washington was incredibly scared of being buried alive, as a lot of people were in the 18th century, let alone today, stating upon his deathbed, "Have me decently buried, and do not let my body be put into the vault in less than 3 days after I am dead." And after his secretary bowed in the affirmative, Washington still asked, "Do you understand?" To which he received verbal confirmation, said, "'Tis well," and then croaked. So yeah, being buried alive is a pretty bad way to die. Even though, according to Ranker's worst ways to die list, it didn't even crack the top 100. Number 1 is slowly burned to death by acid, and then the list gets kind of creative. The human centipede, get compacted with cement, colon perforated by a horse, roller coaster accident, and at number 52, while having sex with Donald Trump. And no, this isn't necessarily a partisan thing, because right there at number 54, there's sex with Hillary Clinton. Anyway, if you happen to think that being helplessly engulfed in sand or soil sounds like a scary situation, what about being trapped in this stuff? You're looking at rescue workers out of Tennessee last Wednesday, working desperately to save the life of a 70-year-old farmer inside of a grain bin.
The initial call we got was he was buried to his neck. He was covered to just right below his mouth.
These first responders used ropes to rappel down into the bin, and when they found the farmer, he was completely covered in corn. A first responder compared this circumstance to being trapped in quicksand.
It's a force that pulls you down and, collapses on top of you at the same time. It puts an immense amount of pressure on your body.
The farmer was covered up to his neck in the corn and was only an inch or two away from suffocating, but he was still conscious and breathing when rescue workers got there. So they made use of something known as a Great Wall device. According to this manual for the Great Wall of Rescue, a product that originates from, yep, you guessed it, the USA, it's a bunch of panels on a platform that's placed around the victim to stabilize the grain. And upon assembly inside of this grain bin, the rescue team then vacuumed out the corn. And you thought your filter needed a change. And from there, our farmer was able to make his way out of an emergency side door unharmed. Now, unless you've watched too many Stephen King movies, a corn-related death might not be at the top of your list of things that you're worried about right now. But as pointed out by our friends at OSHA, the grain handling industry is highly hazardous. And as silly as this picture might seem, and as even sillier as this video from the Missouri Department of Labor might seem, where Barbie just kind of dangles off to the side while Ken gets hourglassed, this is deadly stuff. Feed and Grain says that Purdue University says that last year, there were 42 fatal and non-fatal grain entrapment cases, a 44.8% increase since 2021. That's why farmers rely on equipment like this, a special fully equipped grain bin rescue truck, which are often funded by farmers themselves to get themselves out of a situation like this.
In a business where we have a lot of losses, it's good to have a win, and I'm proud of everybody.
Fortunately, situations like these are why we rely on trusted first responders to protect and serve our communities, and not rely on idiots like me who would just try to heat the whole thing up or something.